Yoshinobu Yamamoto was second in the National League behind Paul Skeens with a .249 during the regular season, and after his complete game against the Brewers, 183 in the postseason. 2 more hits yesterday for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He's hitting .522 over his last 6 games. Vladito takes a ball.
Well, that's the first pitch that the Toronto Blue Jays have not swung at. 6 prior pitches, 6 swings. That tells you their game plan. You don't have to, as a pitcher, you can get pretty much tipped off what the other team's trying to do by the first couple hitters.
Jays not changing their colors. And Vlad not hiding his personality as he moves ahead 2-0. 3 times as many extra base hits in these playoffs as he has strikeouts.
Well, it makes him so difficult to pitch against. See that big hole between first and second? He can hit a ball through there just as easily as he can pull one left into the left field stands.
On this 2-0, he swings over the top of the splitter. Perfectly willing to do so.
Yeah, he is. And he'll take, especially with 2 strikes. That's what would make me nervous as a pitcher. With 2 strikes, if my second baseman's behind second base, I wouldn't feel great if I'm trying to get him out of way.
Tied run at third, go ahead run at first. Still nobody out in this first inning. Guerrero rips and misses, and it's 2-2.
So now watch how he changes his approach. He'll be more likely to hit a ground ball here, knowing a ground ball will get a run unless you hit it back to the pitcher. So those 2 swings will be different on this 2-strike approach.
Toronto scored 11 runs on 14 hits yesterday against a Dodger pitching staff that had given up 4 runs the entire championship series. Two-two pitch. Guerrero grounds it to third, but foul.
I think the biggest mistake hitters try to do in this situation is they're worried about hitting into a double play. But guess what a double play does? Ties the game. Right. So most guys are trying to lift the ball in the outfield. That brings in swing and miss, strikeout, and then a double play ends the inning. So you don't leave it to anybody else. When the defense gives you a ground ball, hit a ground ball, tie the game up.
Now another 2-2 pitch from Yamamoto. Guerrero spoils it. You're not supposed to be able to be both things. The big bruising slugger and the guy that refuses to budge with 2 strikes. He's that guy. They're that team.
Oh no, and there's that guy. Half his size, but does the same thing.
Another 2-2. Curve gets him swinging. Just the 4th strikeout of the playoffs of Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Well, that beautifully timed curveball does bring in the double play on the ground.
Here's an interesting matchup coming here, John. Dalton Varsho, the best changeup hitter, changeup and splitter hitter in baseball. Tied up yesterday's game with a home run against Snell. First one from Yamamoto is a curve that misses in. He's the first left-handed hitter to take Snell deep since Juan Soto did it a year and a half ago. One of the 3 that the Blue Jays hit. Varsho on 1-0. Looks at ball 2. Clement's on deck.
Well, once again, Toronto's making the starting pitcher work awfully hard in the first inning. This will be pitch number 20. They got 29 off of Blake Snell yesterday.
And that huge 6th inning was born out of that first inning in a lot of ways. They got into the bullpen quicker because they had Snell out of the game. And when we talk about that being the key to this series for the Blue Jays, getting the Dodger starters out of there, well, consider that in the postseason against the Jays, starting pitchers have averaged under 4 innings per outing. Strike 1. This has not been against slouches. Elite pitching of the Yankees and then the Mariners and now the Dodgers. 3-1. Varsho fouls it back 3-2. Yamamoto's a strike away from getting out of this inning that was first and third, nobody out, without a run.
Yeah, this would be incredible boost. I mean, you talk about a turnaround that gives your team a jolt. This would be it.
Springer doubled. Lucas singled. There it goes. It's a curve that falls in for strike 3. And Varsho, like a house by the side of the road, watches it.
But that's what pitchers are. Oh, get out of the way. Who do you think wants it more?
I can tell you who didn't. Oh, boy. So the leadoff man on like that. And Addison Barger, who clubbed a pinch hit grand slam yesterday. The first one in World Series history.
They give that a hit?
Was waiting on it. They did.
Wow.
Ernie Clement just, he knows no other way than to go up there and get a hit. 450 in this postseason for Clement.
Corner. I'm glad we don't have this stat anymore, but I wonder what the catch probability was on that.
Oh, I bet we have it. We're not getting fewer stats these days, John. I'm going to say it was triple digits.
Yeah.
Pretty darn close. Down the corner, 2-2 on Barger.
Again, in fairness to Freddie, he's going to catch that 99 out of 100 times, but he had to come sprinting in and, you know, put on the brakes of a ball that was way up there. It's
just not now.
It's either the catcher or the pitcher.
Yamamoto to Barger with the 2-2. Count goes full.
And the reason I'm saying that is because more of the pop flies that are over the mound. How many times do you see a third baseman or first baseman trip on the mound? And the pitcher's on the mound.
Yeah.
Handling the slope.
0% hit probability. StatCat says that with.
That's why I'm wondering why they give him a hit.
Strike 3 called on Barger. Fastball in there at the knees.
Yamamoto's fastball stays low and looks like to the hitter it's going to go lower, but it doesn't. It holds its line, and it's an illusion. That's why he's so tough to hit against. And then you couple that with the fact that he throws a splitter. Yamamoto does best.
Lucas takes a strike.
I mean, he's one of the best at getting leadoff hitters out at over 70% clip, and he does a great job in the 1, 2, 3 innings. He's way above league average in all of those categories. So he's facing a different team, though.
Lucas, who singled his first time, waves and misses at a high fastball. He only threw 3 fastballs over the first 2 innings. That's the fewest number of fastballs through 2 innings in his career. 17 splitters through 2 innings, the most in his career.
That's the combat the aggressiveness of Toronto Blue Jays.
See if he goes with one here to the lefty on an 0-2. Sticks with a fastball. Checking with Tom Verducci.
Yeah, how about this? One time through the lineup, Yamamoto has hit 14 different speeds, 24 miles apart with just 33 pitches. I mean, it's like listening to an oldie station, the greatest hits of the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Got them all. Another 0-2 to Lucas.
Oh, no.
Check swing and a splitter. Ball 1.
Well, after he's dissected him with fastballs and split, he uses that slow breaking ball to really get. If you're trying to defend the hard split and fastball, the curveball messes with your timing. We saw him do it to Guerrero.
Yeah, we take a look at Fox Foresight, powered by Google Cloud. Can the Jays get 5 runs in this game? When they do, they're 78-5 this year. At 9 in 1 inning yesterday. Thanks to Google Cloud for powering these insights. Built with Gemini. Lucas so tough with 2 strikes. Down this time on the high fastball. 4th K for Yamamoto. And now Vlad Jr. 1-1 score, 1 out in the 6th. Alejandro Kirk knocked in the lone run for the Jays with a sac fly in the 3rd.
Oh. There's always that one pitcher on a staff that, whether it's the other pitcher pitching a great game, your team just doesn't score you runs. It's this guy.
Half of his starts this year, John, half of his 30 starts, he got 0 or 1 run.
Yeah, I mean, that's incredible. As great as he's been all year, you're talking about 6 to 8 more wins. And the opponents know what they're going up against.
1 ball and 2 strikes and a couple sliders here to Kirk.
He just has such a great feel for manipulating the baseball. To have 6 different pitches, you've got to be in rhythm and athletic.
The curve gets him to wave and miss. Yoshinobu Yamamoto with his 5th strikeout of the game against this deadly Toronto offense. Dodgers have a 5-1 lead to the bottom of the 8th inning. Yamamoto pulls in strike 1 on the 9-hitter Andres Gimenez, who's retired 14 in a row. He's coming off the first complete game in the playoffs in 8 years, now eyeing a 2nd in a row. I know Dave Roberts is in no hurry at all to get that bullpen going. Yamamoto's thrown as many as 113 pitches in a game. A little defensive maneuver behind him. Justin Dean's into the game in center field. That moves Pages over to right. 113 in a game in the big leagues. You go back to his time in Japan. He had a game in the Japan series where he struck out 14, went the distance, and he threw 138 pitches, doing stuff like you guys used to do.
Well, the pitch count's overrated. We've gotten obsessed by it. And that's why it won't matter here tonight. It's all about the rhythm and the fluidity in which he's throwing. And if you see that stress cuts that down, early on stress, but no stress in the last 3 or 4 innings, that's for sure.
His 0-2 pitch. Lays off the high fastball. You know, there's the idea that the pitchers that come from Japan, rigid schedules, they have a lot of asks. But if you give them their structure and their schedule, fouled into the glove, strike 3. They say, look, you give me that, I'm good, you can push me. Run that pitch count as high as you need to. Springer's 1 for 2.
I laugh every time I hear it, because if that was a scientific data that had a point of eliminating injuries, I'd be all for it. It's actually the worst part of our game where we obsess over pitches, but yet injuries are going through the roof. So you really got to look and use your eyes, and not every number is the same for every pitcher. That's the beauty of it. And yet, as soon as you see 100 pitches, you're like, oh, he's going to break.
That's
Get him out.
How do we decide 100 is the one? Curve pops in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. It was heavy splitter the first few innings. He's almost ditched that pitch, bringing along the rest of the arsenal. Inside with a splitter right there. Here's his 1-2. Strikes out Springer with a fastball. That thing blazing to the top of the zone. Yamamoto's 7.
Four-seamer rising to the top. Again, all 4 quadrants have been thrown to tonight with 5 and 6 different pitches. So he has taken a great offense. Maybe not early on, but since then, just put him away.
Lucas with 2 out takes strike 1. Mentioned the last guy to have back-to-back complete games in the postseason, Curt Schilling in 2001. That was all in the division series and the championship series. Last guy to have back-to-back complete games, one of them in the World Series, your teammate Tom Glavine in 1992. Here.
Yeah.
And a losing effort.
And a losing effort. I was just getting ready to unfortunately follow that up with those wounds have healed, maybe.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. They're still
1-2 on Lucas. Yamamoto, the largest contract ever signed by a pitcher, and living up to it. A little smile on his face. The guy hardly sweats. His 1-2 to Lucas. His fastball to the knees to get him looking. He strikes out the side in the 8th. Something special brewing here for Yoshinobu Yamamoto, trying to join the likes of Oral Hershiser to deal back-to-back complete game wins in the postseason. You got to go back to that 1988 epic run from Oral to find the last guy that has done what Yamamoto's trying to do in a Dodger uniform. Did it against the Brewers in the championship series, and almost impossibly is trying to do it against this lineup. This lineup that, coming into the game, had the #1 slugging percentage of any lineup in postseason history. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. leads off. Guerrero singled in the 3rd. Toronto does not have a base runner since. 17 up, 17 down. Has not been a ball out of the infield since the 5th. A curve to the knees for strike 1. The splitters tap foul. 0-2.
Well, they say when you're an offense and you're up there and the guy's in rhythm, you got to get him out of the stretch. Well, they haven't done that in a while.
It was pretty much constant stress and stretch first few innings. Got the run on 4 hits over the first 3. And a rocking chair since. Oh. And you hold your breath right here if you're Toronto. Fouls this ball off himself and in pain. 0-2 on Guerrero. Here comes Yamamoto. He just missed. He found his zone, but it missed his spot. Didn't get the call. Guerrero came into the game 3 strikeouts all postseason. Yamamoto trying to get him for the 2nd time tonight. He says. Two and 2. Sasaki just in case. Curve off the end of the bat. Freeman to first. 1 away in the 9th. It's Clayton Kershaw in this era. A strike on Kirk. To do something that stirs up those names, stirs up the biggest names in this franchise's history, you're doing something utterly masterful. And Yoshinobu Yamamoto, that.
How about what he's just doing in this new generation of devaluing starting pitching? It makes it even stand out even more. When you don't see this at all and everybody's so quick to go to the bullpen, to me, it stands out more than the guys you just mentioned when it was more commonplace.
Kirk sends a line drive to center field. Justin Dean is there. 2 gone in the 9th. 6 different pitches. A feel for all of them. And a strike on Varsho.
You know what comes to my mind? Don't do the other team a favor. Why? Meaning, if you take him out, you're doing the other team a favor. He's in rhythm. And there's no stress.
0-2 on Varsho. Yamamoto's 6 1/3 in Game 2 of the World Series last year against the Yankees. And it was like, wow, that is deep. He's redefining that, resetting that bar for himself and for everybody else in these playoffs. The 0-2 pitch. The 1-2 pitch. Popped up. Left side. Yamamoto goes the distance again. World Series mastery. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Game 2 of the World Series against the Blue Jays, has thrown a complete game, retiring the final 20 that he faces. 9 strikeouts, no walks, simply dazzling.